Hey guys, so today I'm bringing guys a brand new sports cards video. In today's video, I will be showing you guys which cards I'm currently purchasing right now and which cards I think are very good buys right now. Obviously, the NBA season is upon us, which is a very exciting time. But before we get into that, I do want to say we do have our membership program, and we recently launched our Platinum membership around 2 to 3 weeks ago, and we are currently hosting a winter sale, a Christmas sale, for those of you who may be, for Christmas, getting our membership program, all that. We wanted to save you guys some money, so you can use code CHRISTMAS to get you 20% off our whole entire website if you click the link down below. So just around 2 weeks ago, I recommended our Platinum members to buy these Kevin Durant PSA 10 Topps Chromes for just around $4,000. Currently, they're selling for around $6,000 on Facebook groups and on eBay. I know it's kind of tough to tell how much these really sell for because we do have one that was shill bought at around $9,000, but a lot of two has sold for $12,000 after the best accepted offer. So if you guys would like to go ahead and join our program and make some money, our Platinum membership does come with high-end investments, but we do have a normal membership for those who cannot quite afford these cards yet, but we can build you up to that if you would like. So use code CHRISTMAS for 20% off. Thank you guys so much for all the support in 2020. We really appreciate all you guys supporting our program, and we are glad to make a lot of you guys a lot of money with our program. But without further ado, we're gonna hop right into this video. So the first card that I am really going for right now is Zion's Optic PSA 10. So if you guys want to know some reasoning for this, so this card currently is selling for roughly $300. Around $290 to $330 is the range for this card, but his Prism has recently jumped to some crazy numbers. I know most recently these are selling for around $950. This card was around $700, I'd say a month or two ago. So this card has really skyrocketed up. And it's nearly about to touch $1,000, highest peak, even higher than it was in August. So that's some crazy news for the hobby. But when I look at that, I think his optic is incredibly undervalued because if we do look at more established players, as I said, when players' prices go up, the Prism goes up first, and then the optic will follow in the coming days. So I do have a story. Obviously, Luka Doncic is probably the most transacted player in the market right now, and his optic is around $760 compared to his $1,600 Prism. So that's roughly half the price of the Prism. So if Zion's optic eventually catches up, it will likely go to around half the price of his Prism, which is $430. So that's an easy $100 to be made by just purchasing that Zion optic. I did the same when Luka Doncic in August, he had some crazy games in the bubble, and his Prism base jumped up from $1,200 to $2,000 after one big game winner. And his optic was still stuck at around $500 to $600. So I went ahead and purchased his optics, and they jumped to $1,000 a few days later. So the optics always do follow the same rate of growth. It just often, they lag behind. So I think Zion's optic is a great buy at just $325 because his Prism's all the way at $960. So that's great value for his optic. I believe his optic over the next few weeks will jump up to around $450, maybe $430, but around that range is where it's supposed to be. But another thing I'm really looking for is, guys, so obviously we've seen the preseason and players who do have big games. The market is really reacting strong to big games, even in the preseason. We saw some big games from, even guys like Zion. His prices have gone up mostly because of his preseason performance. So how I'm preparing and how I'm using that logic is during the season, I'm investing in a lot of players who are quite cheap, but they have the potential to have big 40-point games. So one of those guys is Andrew Wiggins. Another guy is, say, Zach LaVine has had some big 40-point games every single season. Last season, he had some huge games. So if the market's reacting so strong to one player's game, if Zach LaVine eventually does have that 40-point game this season, his prices may just skyrocket that day. So a lot of stuff like that. I think De'Aaron Fox is another guy who has the potential to have big 40-point games. Obviously, you have the more expensive guys such as Trey and Luka, who, if they have some big games, the market could really overreact to that one game, and prices could go absolutely crazy. But that's some logic I'm really using, because from the preseason, a lot of these players who just came out and had a 30-point game, their prices skyrocketed. Like Talen Horton-Tucker, for example, his cards have gone crazy ever since he had some big preseason games. And keep in mind, that's the preseason. Now it's the real regular season. So when players have big games in the regular season, we could see their prices just absolutely go through the roof, like Talen Horton-Tucker's have. This Optic Holo was a $10 card right before his big game, and now it's a $55 card. So just stuff like that to think about. You really want to look for players who are quite cheap, but have the potential to have those big games. And I think Andrew Wiggins, Zach LaVine, those guys are pure scorers. They could have a big game. They may not have a huge season, but they have the potential to have a big breakout 40-point game. And same goes with De'Aaron Fox. Often players who are not on the best teams. So that's definitely something to think about. A guy to look for. Also, the Hornets are getting a lot of attention right now because of Gordon Hayward and LaMelo Ball. So PJ Washington is probably their best big man. I think I'm, really going to go hard on some PJ Washington this season, because who knows, he could have a big breakout season this year. I personally think it's a good chance that he does have a big breakout season. So I'm really looking for guys like that. Obviously, if we go to players on teams that are not too good, such as, Cole Anthony's a guy to really look for this year. Obviously, Prism does not drop until March, so that's, something you really got to think about. But, Cole Anthony is a guy who has already played very well in the preseason. He's on a team that's not too good, so he will have all the opportunity. And people really overreact to rookies having a big game because we have not seen much of Cole Anthony. But if he comes out and has a big 30-point game and all of a sudden people start to keep up with him, his prices could really go up. So I really think, guys like that who have the potential to have some big games, even on, not too good teams, are still very good investments. And then just continuing to look for undervalued cards. When you see Zion's prices go up on his Prism, look for his Optic. Same goes with any other player. Another guy to really look for is Steph Curry. I'm personally a fan of his upper deck, number 2, 3, 4, because his tops, is quite expensive for a lot of people. So I think this is a great buy. I've been buying this card. Fun fact, I was recommending this card to my members back in May when they were going for around $150 in a PSA 10. I was recommending this card to all my members. A lot of my members bought a lot of these Steph Curry number 2, 3, 4s, and currently they've absolutely skyrocketed. I've seen PSA 10 sell for $1,000, so that's quite crazy. We are buying these for around $150, like I said. So, big increases on guys like Steph, KD, who are coming back. Obviously Kevin Durant's cards are, his tops number 2, the population report on those is incredibly high. So I'm looking at a lot of his cards like his tops variations. I think this could be a very interesting play this season, just because his normal tops, the pop report on that is through the roof. There's so many made out there that it's going to be very hard for the prices to increase. So I think cards like that could really be a good play. Second-year cards could be in play this year because obviously when players have big games and investors look to buy cards, of players and they can't afford it, simply put, then they have to go to second options, such as second-year cards. So a lot of opportunity in cards like this. Obviously, this season, I'm very excited for. I am definitely very excited to lead my members to a lot of profit this year because we see so many opportunities. We do so much research, and we are very confident that we can make all of our members a lot of money. So, this season's definitely one that can be for the books. I think the sports cards in general are only going up from here. Social media can really blow this all up when players have big games. So I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, if you would like to join, use code Christmas for 20% off for the next 3 days. But other than that, I'm out. Peace.